too long ago.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mack Brothers podcast.
Hey, I'm John. This is Matthew. We have three extremely special guests. Together, they are bees.
Peace.
Separate, they are Mike, Ralph, and Adam. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
I will say this, Ralph. You have you're a drummer. Ralph, you play drums, right, Ralph?
Yes.
You have good timing.
Thank you very much.
In more ways than one.
Yeah,
He
we
just literally right before we're ready to start, he just walked in. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
I think that was a 4-4 timing. Or that was 8-4 timing.
Can you introduce your dog?
Oh yeah, this is Yoshi.
Oh, that's
This
right.
is-
That's
this
right.
is Yoshi.
I forgot your dog's name.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it was his birthday yesterday.
Oh,
really, how old?
Yeah.
happy birthday.
1 year.
Aw.
Which
Aw.
is why he's still kind of climbing on the furniture. Hopefully he'll be better about that soon enough.
My cat Creamsicle just turned 17.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
like a couple weeks ago. She's an old lady.
But yeah, this is Yoshi. He's a good boy generally.
So real quick for
Yeah.
anyone that doesn't know, you have a very unique band name. Why Bees?
Why be?
Why Bees?
I mean, it made me laugh. I think is the short version of that, but it's like I love like the corny horror movies, you know. My brother and I were watching a movie called Ticks. I remember when I was a kid, and there was this guy who like got bit by a giant tick, and then he turned into an even more giant tick, and there was never an explanation about that. Just like giant ticks in a horror movie, I thought was hysterical. And so, you know, I kind of was going along that theme, and it was bees. Giant bees in a horror movie I thought was hysterical. So that's kind of where it comes from.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that explanation a lot.
Not like
I was,
We're the Bees, but like you're in a horror movie being chased down the street by giant radioactive bees.
Well, I think it's been imperative since we've known each other, which is actually, I think we're coming up on 2 years.
Yeah, I think so because we're playing Kung Fu Necktie soon, and I was looking back at the last time we played Kung Fu Necktie, and it was with you guys.
Oh wow!
oh, get out of
Yeah,
here.
with an yeah.
It's been you know what? It might have been. Was that the 1940s?
Yep.
So it was almost 3 years now.
It was January 4th, 2020, I think.
Wow.
Is what the
Oh,
date
my
was when
Lord.
I was looking
But
at it. How about that? Yeah.
Didn't we know each other before?
We was all so young, you know.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. I actually have less grays.
I think we've matched grades.
Sorry, Adam. I didn't hear you. Can you
Good.
speak up?
The
Sorry.
dog is licking the bottom of my shoes.
He's interested
He's
in where
so
you've
hungry,
been.
right?
No, he has a giant bowl of food over there.
All right. So I think
He's just picky.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yoshi, come here. Yeah.
So you and Adam were bees,
Yes.
and you just lost a good friend of all of ours, Gooch.
Yeah. Gooch was great,
Shout out
man.
to
But we
Gooch.
knew when we kind of picked him up that he was gonna be a farmer soon.
Yeah. So he's farming right now
Greener
with his
pastures.
Yeah.
beautiful dog. So
Yeah.
how did you, Ralph? How did you come into the picture?
Well, we played the same gig, Elephant Talk, back in August, and they're old with Jason, right?
Yeah.
He actually let me use their drum set on some mix-up, but it worked out. And then you guys reached out to me a little while later, a couple weeks later, because they knew obviously that their drummer was leaving, and I was all for it. I really loved the music, so I was really flattered that they reached out.
Yeah, it's you know what, their music punches you right in the mouth.
And no shit, no exaggeration, really. And I've now seen you guys sober, and I've also seen you guys not hammered but drunk, and it punches you either way. But
Just
seeing
like a
you guys,
scale.
seeing you guys
Right?
drunk
So I
was-
was sober, so it's good, right? But also,
so I know it's good. But when you're
also
drunk,
over here.
it was fucking crazy. It was fucking crazy when I was like, what the these guys are nuts
So
in a good way.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I wrote notes. So I obviously have listened to your stuff live. I follow you on Spotify. If you haven't, anyone who's watching, follow Bees on Spotify. follow them on Instagram, listen to all their stuff. But I actually today I did my due diligence, and I made God, I said that wrong.
Due diligence.
Due diligence.
Your
And-
due
Due
diligence.
diligence.
But I took notes on some of my favorite Bees songs,
Cool.
and I have questions for some of them.
No, I'd love to hear it. That's great.
So first of all, 8/4.
Yeah.
The time signature's wacky. Is the time signature 8/4?
I mean, it could be, I guess. Yeah, it's that would be just like doubling the measure, right? But yeah, sure. Time signature's 8/4.
Oh, yeah, it's been that way the whole time.
Yeah,
It just
total-
become that.
Absolutely,
this
absolutely
video.
on purpose. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So how did that happen? How did you write that song?
That one, I mean, that guitar part's kind of like a bass line, you know? And I've been a bass player for a long time. And this is only really the only band I've played guitar in. So I'm playing the guitar like a bass, especially when we were first writing. I've started to use the B and E string a little more, but not often. But you know, so the riff is kind of like a bass line. And then I love video games, and that middle section is kind of supposed to be the instrumental part. It's kind of supposed to be like video game boss music. And
Definitely.
8/4 is the last level in Super Mario Brothers, the original Super Mario Brothers. So that's the title. That's where 8/4 comes from. It's
Fuck
that.
me.
Yeah. And the whole thing's, you know, it's like about video games, but it's about like when you try something and you just like throw yourself at it and you have no idea, and then you learn from that experience, and then you try again, and then you learn from that experience and you still suck, and then you you try again, and it's about that, you know. So it's about video game bosses, but it's also about just like fucking up over and over again until you get it right, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was one I first heard live. And I don't know if you might have opened with it actually.
We've done that. Yeah, it's a puncher, right?
Yeah, it smacks you right in the face. And then on the same EP, the closing song, Hot Frogs.
Yeah.
So that's an incredible closer. How do you go about putting in order your EPs?
I don't know. It was kind of about having the songs flow together, I guess. That original EP, I'll deal with it in a minute. That original EP was, you know, we wanted 8/4 right off the bat. It's like, bam, there it is. And then the other day kind of keeps the same, not the same type of song or even the same groove or whatever, but has just the same time period energy that, I don't know. I just feel like they fit together. This time everything backs off a little bit, right? It's really chill. And then we built back up, I think was kind of the plan there, right? Like Robots builds it, and then Hot Frogs kind of just like kicks it again at the end. So, you know, you want to have something that grabs people, I guess, along the way, would be my thought there. But I don't know, I just kind of listen to the songs and put them in order, right? I don't know. What would you say?
We had to pick and
Excuse me.
choose from, you know, however
Go
many
back.
songs,
Go back.
and pick the first
Good
5
boy.
we wanted to record.
Good boy.
So, you know, it's probably like a diverse selection of like what we had
Good
at
boy.
the time. And then in terms of like ordering the EP, it's the same as the shows. Like we want to come in strong, leave strong, and in the middle we'll back off a little bit, but like people would still say it's pretty fast. Like we don't want anybody to get bored. I get bored really easily. 2 minutes a song, 2.5 minutes a song. I'm
So-
engaged. 3.5 minutes a song.
What is this, prog rock?
I was gonna say. So we went to in the grape room. We went to a math rock. We actually were on the bill. We closed a math rock show.
Seriously?
We closed the math rock
And if-
show.
yeah, if you-
Yeah. So just
you know our sound.
yeah. So real quick.
You guys
So
tapping?
we're more along. Yeah. Sure we were. So these guys, everyone had a 45-minute set. There was 4 bands that played before us, and each band played like 4, I would say 4 to 6 songs each.
Okay.
So they were all. Adam, I don't think you could sit through these bands because not one song. I think the shortest song was probably like 6 minutes for each of these bands.
It was terrible.
So then we played, and you know I think we had 13 songs in 45 minutes. So
yeah, that's exactly.
I feel like we were.
We're like, all right, we're trying to do 12 songs in 30 minutes. Here we go. You know.
Yeah. Basically, I feel like the other math rock bands were like, "That's too many songs. You can't." I don't know how they probably would have been outraged and said, "You can't divide the time that way. That's not good math."
The crazy thing was that we were the closer, and it was 5 acts. We went on at midnight, so we sat through every fucking math rock band. I mean, it was just really rough. I was hammered by the time we went.
Not even saying all.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, you are.
I was fucked up, and then I'm trying to convince. And the real fucked up thing is that we started pulling in a crowd because if you know the grape room, like it's like literally the stage is right next to the door, so we started pulling in this drunk midnight crowd, and they're having a blast with us, and I'm still trying to like tie back like math rock jokes, and they just, no one got it, but I'm like, all right, this is Drank Taylor. It's our closest song to math rock, and no one got it. And all the but all right, back to bees.
That sounds like a good. I would have loved to have seen that.
It was shocking. You know, it's funny. I Matthew maybe, but I don't think I even have the talent to be in a math rock band. But I feel like
you could develop it for sure.
Well, I could just play nonsensical bullshit for a little bit, but I feel like if it was something that I would actually get, like with the time signature stuff, I think Matthew plus Bees equals math rock.
We could do that, I guess.
Matt's played drums for us
cool.
A few times. Once downstairs, right after you were on our podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
And then once at the Dawson Street pub.
Yeah. I mean, we could fake it till we make it.
Okay, we'll make it happen.
We could have 2 drummers. That's math rock as it gets. So actually, I have a question. So it's kind of for Ralph, but kind of for all you guys. So how's the transition with having a new drummer? We've been through it before, several times. How's it been going? Do you feel comfortable playing all the songs, or are you that far along with the process yet?
No, it's been great. It's a lot of like memorizing and like, all right, you tell me what to do. But it's been really fun. It's more fun learning music that I actually like to play rather than like, school band or something memorizing. But is
that the background you come from?
Yeah, I mean kind of. Like I played a lot of middle school, high school band, just like boring stuff. But no, it's been great. It's like it's a good change, I guess. I've never really played this type of music before. It's kind of a lot on my plate, but I enjoy it.
It's fun, I guess. Fun things to have on your plate.
Don't fuck it up.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, keep to the click and.
Oh yeah.
Yep, they were big on that.
Do you guys rehearse to a click?
We haven't gotten there yet because we're still working everything out. We have this song that we're working on, like we have to record for this compilation. So there's a bunch of other stuff we're working on. But eventually we really try and narrow everything down and like really get to, we think about like how our parts interact with each other and how they work together. And a lot of that is really making sure that they're right in time with each other. So yeah, eventually we rehearse everything to a click.
The short answer is sometimes.
Yeah.
Did I just hear you're recording a new song soon?
So
is this an exclusive?
Well, we're always.
You won't believe it. We're recording a ska song.
Oh,
not kidding. But it's so friends of ours. The band is called the What Nows. They're a ska punk band from Reading, and we met them through like Camp Pennsylvania. And Berg is a fan of Bees, so we played a couple of gigs with them. But they put together this compilation of ska covers of different artists, and they've done Ben Folds, and they did the Bare Naked Ladies, and neither of those are really our style, But then They Might Be Giants came up, and that is absolutely right up our alley.
I took you as a Bare Naked Ladies guy as soon as I met you.
Oh God, no! I hate the Bare Naked Ladies. Man, I really hate the Bare Naked Ladies. Like ever since the Chinese Chicken, I don't know that song, right? I hate that song. And I hate Bare Naked Ladies. put it out there on the Mack Brothers podcast.
I like it.
Well, I
like
think
it.
I think everyone here can agree on one thing, and that's we all hate bare naked ladies.
I don't think
Perfect.
we get enough Mike angry.
You're a very
you
peaceful
listen
man.
to, you got to listen to Bees. You know, that's where it gets through. Basically, follow the
Even-
lyrics, and that's
Even
it.
when we're having off the record conversations, Mike has always been like, yeah, you know, I'm not really too happy with them, but you know what? And I'm like, you know what? They're pieces of shit. They're losers. Look at them. And Mike's like, yeah, you know, I think they're all right.
You know, I don't know. It's
They weren't nice to us either, but what are you gonna do?
It might be experience. Maybe it's just the experience.
I try to think the best of people. I often fail at that, but most of that happens up here rather than out. Yeah,
All right, back to B's music.
sure.
So, stick shifts and safety belts might be my favorite song.
Okay.
It has it's almost country-ish.
Yeah.
It's very folky, and it's very light.
Are you a Cake fan?
A Kick fan?
Cake.
Oh, a Cake fan.
So-
Is that
so
a
that's
Cake cover?
That's a cover.
Oh shit!
So I will let.
And I don't like Cake. I don't like Cake.
You're on keto.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Like
we're
it now.
we're doing
Yeah.
we're doing that song like as is. There's not a lot to it that we added or changed. It's pretty,
Okay.
it's pretty
Are-
Cake.
Is everything on that EP covers?
Yeah. So anything with the Goofy B they're all covers.
So what's how many cans? Who does that?
That's Soul Coughing, but it's Soul Coughing is often like upright bass, groovy jazz chords. But that song's much more like a laid back. I don't know, about getting drunk to forget stuff.
Yeah, so that's like a pretty dark. That's a darker song that I didn't think used. I didn't know it was a cover. I didn't know any of them were covers.
Yeah.
But like that was pretty dark. Now and of how you say the person's name that's featured on it.
Avataria.
I got it right.
You got it right.
I got it right.
I feel
Yeah, no,
like-
she's
do
great.
we know her?
What's that?
Do we know her? Is she from the? Was she in FTA?
Yeah. Yes.
She plays like the guitar by herself. On
Yeah.
the...
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I loved all those riffs, like the low end riffy guitar stuff she was
Mhm.
doing. And we had talked about playing gigs, but then it was the pandemic, so we ended up just doing covers. You know, and
Yeah.
I wanted her on board with that. So
She's always killing it on Instagram.
yeah, she's great. I love the riffs that she comes up with. Yeah.
All right, and now my favorite EP, my favorite piece of music that you did together, Bees in Space. First of
I
all,
think it's my
Name
favorite
alone.
too, honestly.
first of all, it's like the perfect intro for a Bees album. And did you talk about that? Because you're
So-
a huge Mario fan.
The Bees in Space theme, man. I'm really proud of that. I took like all of those sounds are created from scratch. I took sound waves and made them into those sounds, all the drums, all of the bass sounds, like all the sounds you hear in there. I like created them from scratch, and that's the first time I've ever done that. And then I wrote the whole composition as like, you know, a Legend of Zelda inspired like video game theme. And I love how it sounds. I'm so proud of it. It makes me feel good when I hear it, you know. I just love it. And we have a video game too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the theme. It's in the game. If you turn on our video game to play Super Mario World Bees in Space, it plays like that song.
And as a former competitive Super Mario World 2 world champion, I
Check out our YouTube channel to see
I can
some proof of that.
vouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ralph, you don't know. You're new to this. I ranked 4th in the world in Super Mario Maker 2, and man, I put Mike to shame.
Yep.
He was actually sitting right where you are. He was bawling his eyes out. That's how good I was.
Ralph, well, you'll learn.
Yeah,
Ralph, you'll
right,
learn.
right here.
And you could go back and watch me play it
Oh, I will.
on the Bees YouTube channel, and you could see for yourself just how darn good I am.
We'll get to. Oh, I
Can
want
I-
to talk about.
can I-
Sorry.
Can
Oh,
I?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
go.
You took no. You took, and then I want to take the next one.
All right, so Bees in Space, the music leads incredibly in the story. And it's probably my favorite riff. It might be just one of my. It's not like a riff that like, oh, my friend made a great riff. It's a fucking riff. Like if it was on like VH1, like you remember we'd watch like that's the '90s or whatever, and they would count down the songs.
Sure,
If
yeah.
that was like on the list, it would make total sense. Like that riff is fucking sick. So talk
Thanks,
about that
John.
riff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just
It's a different version of the.
oh yeah, so well, I took that riff and used it to write Bees in Space, right? That it's the same notes of the guitar riff
Yeah.
that you hear in the arpeggios and in the whole it's so it's all the same notes, right? So it's supposed to be like a play on that. But that riff is all like hammer on, pull off, slide kind of, it's all like little guitar tricks. Just basically
Excellent.
it's that, well, a little faster than I could play it when I wrote it originally. And then I was like, Adam, you have to do this on strings that are like 6 times the size of mine, and
Manage those bass strings.
yeah.
So for one
yeah.
of our songs, Drank Taylor, playing that song on bass is a bit of a bitch, but it's a great exercise. Did you think? Did you look at it the same way? You're like, well, at least I'm getting a good
It's always
workout.
great exercise.
At least I'm getting a good finger workout. Keep myself in shape.
Yeah,
Forearm
for sure.
strong.
Yeah.
So 1,000 times.
Yep.
That's it. That's a pretty political song.
Yeah.
Why do
I mean,
you
it
hate?
shouldn't be political.
Well,
why?
right, sure.
Why do you hate America?
Why? An excellent question. Actually, so that first line is something that I've actually said a lot. I'm a little bit hipster about hating Joe Rogan. I've hated Joe Rogan for a really long time.
I could totally
You're not
get
gonna
that.
like the last 15 minutes of this podcast.
Yeah. See, there you go, John. More hate, right? More hate. Hated Joe Rogan for a long fucking time. And that's what I always said about him was he's so open-minded, his head is hollow. Like he'll just take anything anybody says and be like, oh yeah, that. And we've
That
seen
is.
that kind
Can I
of
just?
yeah.
You blew my mind with that quote. Could you see he's so open-minded that his head is actually hollow? What a fucking quote!
Open as hell.
Yeah. It's the opening of the song, right?
That's
yeah.
what to say. It's a lyric.
That's what I mean. I'm like, when you like, that's a great line. I have those moments with John where John will come up with a lyric, and I'll look at him and I'll be like, "Really? You came up with that? You sure you didn't steal that from somewhere?" Like that's a great. That's probably like, I don't know. It's probably my favorite lyric.
Thank you. It's I think something that starts off the song. That's actually kind of a goal, is to be like, all right, this first lyric has to like grab your ear and make you like laugh or like twist the meaning of it, or something about it has to be, make you want to listen, right?
100%.
While we're on the topic, I mean, if anybody is listening,
Yeah.
need some advice. If someone is just asking questions and they have access to the resources of like a multinational media company, like they're obviously not just asking questions.
Yeah.
Remember that Glenn Beck asshole? He started that whole thing. He's like, listen, I'm just asking questions here, right?
We should be the ones asking questions, and they should be answering the questions, right?
Yeah.
Ralph,
They have the resources and the journalists and like all of, like that's it. That's it. Don't listen to people that are just asking questions.
Ralph, who'd you vote for? Go.
What, in like the presidential election?
No, recently. Go.
Recently.
Did you vote in the midterm? Who voted in the midterm?
It was one of those days where I'm like, oh man, it was like such a crazy day, and then by the time I got home,
Do you just click
can't
blindly?
believe I forgot. Yeah, I didn't vote in this midterm, dude.
You're gonna get a letter next year.
I know.
There's these companies now that like just mail you letters and be like, you didn't vote. What's up?
Yeah.
Ralph's from Jersey, so well, I guess it probably wasn't quite as critical.
Oh yeah. I don't think so.
Okay, never mind.
I've been outed though. I didn't vote on the midterm.
I gotta
Sorry.
Learn it.
Our 17 viewers are going to be pretty upset.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
All right.
Our listen, I will say this. The Mack Brothers podcast is we just talk about whatever the fuck we want. So feel free, say whatever you want. If you say fuck Joe Rogan, that's fine. Because I personally, I do agree on a lot of that. Like watching his podcast sometimes really annoys me.
Well, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Do you
I've
guys?
never watched him talk.
Really?
Yeah, I refuse.
Have you listened to him talk?
No, I mean, I've never listened to him talk. I refuse.
He's willing to entertain ideas that aren't worth entertaining. It's basically, and he gives them this like validity that a lot of people who are just listening to them will be like, oh, that sounds smart, or that sounds insightful, because maybe it does, right? But then you actually have to follow those things that sound smart and insightful, like to the facts or to their conclusions, you know? And I feel like he creates like a poisonous atmosphere where it allows people to just take on these ideas that are absolute total horseshit.
There's some of the ideas are insane.
It's not just him. Like the song isn't about Joe Rogan, you know. The song is about like how many people out there, and this is kind of I think what Adam is getting at. How many people are peddling ideas that they're just asking questions about how things should be working. Or
I wasn't talking about Joe Rogan.
Yeah. So it's
modern day snake oil salesman.
It's it's like when this like extreme media is saying like, well, shouldn't we know how this is happening, when they can literally like just go to their local council or type into Google or whatever, you know, like and find out why it's happening. Like it's already explained.
Give us your investigative journalism, not your like third grade.
Do what you want. Do what you went to school for. You went to school to be an investigative journalist.
Right.
Investigate.
Rather than just trying to be an entertainer and sell ad clicks or poison or whatever, you know. So there are so many different motivations, right?
Somebody called it angertainment.
Angertainment. That's great, right? And it's personally affected my family.
Oh man.
That's the thing.
Really?
Like it's actually like kind of it's affected my family, it's affected my life, it's changed somebody that, you know, I had looked up to for a long time. So it really, that poison hits close to home for me.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't think, real quick, I don't think you could, for our perspective on it, you can't be from like South Philly and not see the 75% of people that you used to respect turn into fucking stunads.
Almost turn into almost Nazis. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, South Philly is definitely a place where that's
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on that note,
real quick, you know what? John Haidt, one lady on Facebook, and I won't say her name because she's not like famous or nothing, but my mom's arguing like about Fetterman. My mom's saying like, you know, just because he had a stroke, his policies are good for people, like for the most part. Yeah. And the lady goes like, you know, you must be a shitty mother, like that. And my mom is like, she was just like, well, no, like, you know, she's calm. I mean, she's trying to be, but you know what? I'm gonna say it on the Mack Brothers podcast if this lady watches. You're a cunt. And I hope your children hate you, you stupid whore.
Wow.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say was, it's definitely true what you guys are saying. You see all these random guys that I never heard of get canceled. I didn't even know they existed, but apparently they have these huge, like Andrew Tate's a good example of it. People that have these total whack job ideas have nothing to do with anything. And it's like, where the hell did this guy even come from?
Yeah.
To be canceled? Like so many people, you know, snake oil salesmen from yesteryear.
We lucked out on
the
that
same
one.
thing. Look at the, you know, Alex Jones. He's an example. And then you have, I just watched a Vice documentary about Rush Limbaugh, and
oh my God,
he was doing it, you know, innovating this in like the late '80s when he started his
talking about
radio
lizard
show.
people, man. Yeah, he really went off the deep end pretty early. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy, but you know, I think this is why art can be important, because art's a great way to express, you know, your frustrations with these kinds.
Certainly the way I've dealt with it. Yeah. Yep.
John, I think we have one more little note.
So one by one or one times one. How would you actually say? I say it one by one.
Yeah, it's one by one, like in
One
the
by
song.
one.
Yeah, one by one.
Yeah.
It's like the
One by
ants go
one.
marching, you know?
Yeah. So, it's probably at this. I was doing leg day last week, and it came on my shuffle, and I swear to God, I like maxed out the machine.
Yeah.
It is one of the best gym songs out in the whole world.
nice.
So,
That's-
Ralph, question for you,
workout.
Ralph.
Yes.
Do you work out to any bees songs?
No, but thinking about it, I just like in the past 5 seconds after you said that, I kind of went through each song. I'm like, they'd all be good to work out to. Like, you have a good point.
If I did
Ralph skate.
cardio,
Ralph skates.
Yeah, that's about the only cardio I do.
okay.
Oh, that's cool.
So Ralph is on a board. Adam's on ice skates.
I was gonna say, what kind
play
of
video
skating?
games. Yeah.
Are you like deep into the skating world, or it's just like you just do it for fun?
I mean, I've never been like on a company, but yeah, I mean, I'm definitely invested in, like, I have a passion for it. I've been doing it.
What are you better at,
What do you-
drumming or skating?
I think I've been drumming for way longer. I just think it'd be drumming. You know.
Listen, I watched this Tony Hawk documentary not too long ago, which was fucking awesome on HBO, and I love Tony Hawk. We grew up playing. I think
Pro skater.
a lot of kids, my age and John's age, when they grew up, they played Tony Hawk Pro Skater or
Mhm.
some form of it, underground, whatever. What's going on with pro skate? Like, is pro skating still like it's still out there, right? Like X
Listen.
Games, it's still going on, right?
I'm gonna say as soon as they release a new one, they should put bees on it. That's
Yes.
what I have to say
Oh,
about
yo,
Pro
It's the
Skater.
perfect
It's
skate
that.
song.
Yeah. So
That would be the-
That's awesome. That's
one by
I
one.
mean-
It's the perfect skate song.
sorry should absolutely be on
Sorry with the
Tony
riff.
Hawk Pro Skater,
Yeah.
right? Or one by one, right?
No, hey,
Yeah.
you know what? The NHL hockey games,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
they
absolutely.
they would be sorry if they didn't get a B song.
Good one.
Listen, I could already see your name coming up at the bottom.
Yeah.
One by one, and then bees. I could see it.
Hey, man,
I
we'll
can
take
envision
it. Video game music is like, I would love to be in video games. I would love to compose for video games. I would love to do that stuff.
That composer who does, I don't know his name. I think he's a Spanish dude. He made the music for like The Last of Us and all these like insanely intense single
Okay.
player games. I mean, that guy is just like some of the most talented musicians in the world work on soundtracks, and they
It's a
don't get enough
cool thing,
respect.
too, in video games where they have to compose all these different pieces of music that have to fit together depending on what's happening in the game. So like a composition for a video game can be like 1,000 different tracks of music that all have to happen and interact with each other, and like it's really a cool process.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Mike, speaking of video games, a little birdie told me that there's a speed run competition for your game.
So
Can you
well,
explain that?
So as everybody's kind of hunkering down for the winter, right? The idea we're gonna get some
Get
new
out your joystick.
Yeah, that's right. So basically, we're gonna get some new shirts. We're gonna get a new run of the old B shirts because we've sold out. Like I didn't even have one to give Ralph, which
Hey,
so-
congrats!
yeah, right. It's exciting. So we're gonna get a new run of those, and we're also gonna get some other shirts with the little stupid bee drawing on the Project 1996 thing on the covers album. We're gonna do some shirts with that on it as well. And so we were thinking during the winter, maybe people could try and play our game. And if you can beat the game faster than Bees in Space EP, like beginning to end, right? We'll give you a free t-shirt.
That is lit.
So you need
That's
like
a
a
great
video of it. You could just like put your cell phone on whatever on the couch and like, you need a video of it. But if you can beat the game faster than the EP, then we'll give you a free shirt. And
Listen,
I think that's it's like 8.5 minutes or something. Bees in Space is like 8.5 minutes long, I think.
Yeah, it's
you
very,
may as well just give me your whole inventory. Just ship them to me because
So
I'm doing
yeah,
it.
I mean, these guys reminded me that.
Asterisk.
Yeah, so maybe we'll max it out at 50. We'll see. The game's been downloaded 400 times at this point off of SMW Central, and hopefully a lot more from our website.
Yeah, so it's while supplies last.
400 times.
While prizes last. Like we'll do
Yeah,
our
there
best.
you go.
We'll do
I
our best.
love it.
That's awesome. 400. That's
I
great.
love it. Guys, don't forget us when you make it. You make it real big.
No, you can. Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to always keep playing shows with you guys.
Oh yeah, forever.
Oh yeah, I mean that's not even a
It's
question.
hard. It's hard, by the way.
Hey, yeah, play the game. It's
Dream,
hard. But it's fun.
dream show would
That'd
be us use Scoopski, haha charade.
Oh yeah. No, that would be a lot of fun.
That's the East Coast tour.
And we
that
could put
need.
that together at the Nail, no problem. I don't know. Maybe we could do it somewhere else, but I could see that happening easy.
Why don't
Yeah.
we just block a month off of shows and just do a bunch of shows us four? I mean, we don't have their schedule, but
Just jump around the city.
do an
Jump
East
around.
Coast. You know, we do a couple jerseys, we do a couple
So-
Phillies.
I
Jump
mean,
around.
this is like still way, way, way away on our back burner, or not figuring it out. But we're looking at doing something in March. So maybe summer would be a lot better, I think. But definitely,
100%.
we could talk about that.
All right.
Yeah.
Because we're cheap, our Zoom is running out. We have less than a minute. Do you guys have anything to promote? Ralph, Adam, Mike, anything? Go, hurry up.
We got a show 12/29 at Kung Fu Necktie.
12/29. We'll put it in the
We're
description.
playing with Bees, Ralph's band, other band Jima, Unlucky Mammals, and Sacred Monsters.
Oh, okay.
Great.
So there
Not
you
too
go.
many.
Yeah, 12/29. Come out and see us. It'll be
12/29
Kung Fu
Bees.
Necktie.
Thank you everybody for watching the Mack Brothers podcast. Bees, thank you so
Thanks
much,
for having
guys.
us. We love you guys. We'll see
We
you.
love you guys too.
Ralph, welcome.
Nice
Thank
meeting you,
so
Ralph.
much for having me.
See ya.
Of course, buddy.